Hello, hello. This is my sixth or seventh time trying to record this, but let's hope that it works out this time. So this painting in the background here, well, not in the background, this painting, is a Draw This Again based on a forever work in progress from back in 2017. And I think there's a lot of reasons why the original version never came into fruition. So I wanted to talk a little bit about embracing incompletion and kind of just rolling with the punches and almost accepting limitations. Apologies in advance if my thoughts or words are kind of jumbled in this, because this was originally meant to be finished for the beginning of February, but I spent most of February listening to my computer fans scream at me anytime I opened a program that was not like Google Chrome. Anyways, the original the original piece. Well, I don't want to call it a piece because I never finished it, but the original work was done in Fire Alpaca, and this new version is in Clip Studio Paint, because at the time I had been playing around with Clip Studio Paint more. I think that my first iteration of it was just too ambitious for me, because I was working with kind of a foreign color scheme for myself. I was trying to get the lighting to be right, the head angle and the hands, and just the rendering style led to my downfall. And I also think that a mistake that I made in both the old version and the new version is that I didn't structure it where it needed to be structured, particularly for the eyes and the nose, because I ended up redoing both the old version and this version several times over, because my original sketch was just not, I just didn't put in the effort at the beginning to make sure that sketch was right. But I think the big thing that I've come to realize over the past couple years/months is that I need to be a bit more okay with scrapping ideas and letting myself explore a concept until I'm tired of it, which inevitably happens, and then, taking that, letting that piece die naturally, instead of dragging it out and convincing myself that eventually I'll come back to it, because that just tires me out emotionally without me actually putting in the energy to do things. It just stresses me out and it becomes another thing on my to-do list that never gets done. So I think that structuring my process a little bit better will help with that, which is, I think that I talked about this in my January goals video, but that was 2 months ago and time isn't real, so I don't remember a thing that I said. But I think that if I have a process that allows me to stop at any given point, or even just at certain given points, and have that be, wherever I stop be a presentable form, then I think that would really benefit me and encourage me to, let ideas die their natural deaths. Because if I have if I spend 40 minutes on a sketch, right, and then that sketch is kind of presentable, then I think it'd be good to stop there, or at least stop there for the time being. And when I come back to it, that's when I could start refining the sketch, and then stop there after the refined sketch, and then go in with the flats, take a break there, and then go into rough coloring, take a break, and then render it out, then either take a break or finish the actual thing, because each of those stages would allow me something that I am content with putting, maybe not online, but just content, and it feels like I've learned all that I can for that stage of the process. And I also think that I need to be okay with doing a sketch almost immediately after getting an idea, because I found that sometimes I will have an idea and a concept in mind, and in my mind it's a fully rendered out piece. So I don't want to start the sketch until I have enough time to, I have several hours free, which never happens that much. I have several hours free to do as much as I can for that piece. And then, the next day I realize, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. Or again, it becomes one of those forever work in progresses in the back of my head, always taking up space. So I think it'd be good, because I've recently found when I do a sketch of a concept I have in mind, I'm kind of just content with the sketch sometimes. Like, I will do the sketch and I will realize, oh, I kind of don't want to put more energy into this. I'm kind of happy with this sketch and letting this idea be just a sketch, and I'm not really looking to expand on it right now. So I think that would also benefit with helping me embrace the idea of incompletion. And I think, going back to sort of the topic of this actual painting, I think another reason why I struggled to finish it so much was because of the rendering style. Because again, it was too ambitious, but also because I really struggled at the time to let my brush marks and stuff be rough and like kind of chunky. I hate the word, but like let things be kind of rough and not necessarily unfinished looking, but not smoothly rendered all the time. And I also remember back then I would almost always zoom in way too much and, you know, get caught up in all the details. Whereas with the newer one, I made sure to start it very zoomed out so I could get rougher, broader marks in, which definitely helped to push it along faster. I still got like a minute and a half left. What else could I say? I think like even though the rendering style, I definitely do prefer like smooth rendering styles when it comes to digital art, because it's just kind of satisfying to get like these impossibly clean gradients and these impossibly like smoothed out edges. But I think that I'm kind of more satisfied with the fact that I'm finally done with this idea, and even if the rendering style of the new version is not that smooth, not that like anatomically accurate, I mean, look how tiny her hand is, I think I'm definitely more satisfied with this version because it's done. Like, it's no longer living rent-free in my head, you know? Oh, that brings us roughly to the end of this, so thank you for listening if you did, and bye-bye.